This is the Effidry dryer. This was sent to me so I could test it and make this video. I've been using it for about 3 months now, and here are the things I've noticed about it. First of all, it works just like a normal dryer, but obviously it is a lot smaller, so the drum inside will spin, it will stop, go back the other way, so it does a nice job of tumbling the clothes. It does have heat as well, so it can dry the clothes with heat. It can also dry the clothes without heat because it does blow air through the clothing really fast. In the back of the dryer, you have kind of the lint catcher. The nice thing about that is it's all connected magnetically, so you can just pull the whole thing off and then manually remove all the lint. Then it just pops back into place with magnets, so that's pretty cool. If you just want to kind of freshen up your clothes, you can throw it in here and just turn it on and have it blow air through it. So as a dryer, it does work really well. You just can't put large loads in it. Now I have put things like my blue jeans. This dryer has a bunch of different settings on it, and I think the one that is kind of advertised the most is like the quickest quick dry setting ever in the world at 9 minutes. So I was kind of skeptical of this. I turned it on. I did it with my pants that are made, I think, of almost all polyester. So it came out of the washing machine pretty dry as it spin dries. I put it in, pressed the quick dry function, turned it on. I was actually really surprised and impressed. I wouldn't say it got completely dry, but it almost did. I just had to put it in a few minutes after that, and then it was completely dry. So if you have one article of clothing that's made mostly of polyester, like a swimsuit or something like that, this can dry it really quick. It really just depends on the article of clothing. And I do want to point out that I did try to dry the exact same pair of pants where I had gotten it wet, and then I just wringed it out, and I obviously did not do as good a job as the washing machine does, because I think I had to turn this on about 3 or 4 of the quick dry cycles to get it completely dry. So just something to be aware of. The normal cycle dries for 1 hour and 30 minutes. And from what I've read, it's a smart cycle, so it kind of determines how wet or dry your clothes are, and it adjusts. In my experience, I think I have noticed that when my clothes were still wet, that it would stay on longer until it was dry, and then it would shut off. But if my clothes were dry and I put it in here and started that cycle, it didn't recognize that it was dry and shortened the time. So there's another thing to be aware of. And then most of the other functions on this kind of just adjust the amount of time and the amount of heat. And speaking of heat, there is a temperature button that you can press to change the amount of heat, supposedly. I'm not really sure how that works, because when you press it, it just beeps, but I don't see any indication that things are getting hotter or less hot. So yes, it does have adjustable temperature, but I'm not really sure how to use that. It also does have an adjustable schedule, so if you want to do like a timed delay, you could do something like that. As far as how loud it is, well, let me just turn it on so you can hear for yourself. Okay, so I just pressed the power button, press play, and now it's turning, and now it's on. And this is what it sounds like. It is this amount of loud. I'd say it's quiet enough. If it's in another room, you're probably okay. If it's in the same room as you, I wouldn't want to sleep with it, but there you go. One other setting that this has is drying shoes setting, or you could put other things in there, but it does come with a rack so you can put your shoes on. I wear a size 10.5, and I have these shoes that got really dirty the last vacation I went on, so I don't wear them anymore because they're so dirty. Put them in a bucket. I tried to clean it. I think it got a little bit cleaner, not much, but when I put it on the rack that this comes with, I kind of struggled because the shoes at size 10.5 were a little bit too big to just kind of go in easily. But what I found out is if I take out the metal rack, I just lay the shoes against the little paddles on the drum. It actually worked out really well. So the shoe settings, I think it dries for about 3 hours, and that was actually about the perfect setting for my shoes. I put it in. When it was done, my shoes were completely dry. That was really nice. I've really enjoyed using this for the 3 months I've had it. I've honestly used it mostly just for rags or smaller things. We have 4 boys, so we have a lot of laundry, so obviously this isn't going to handle a lot of things all at once. But for smaller things or for unique things like shoes or something similar to that, or if you have something like a wet swimsuit and you just want to dry it really quick, this is perfect for that. If you live in a small apartment and you don't have a dryer and you just need something, this would definitely work. You might just have to use it a lot more, but yeah, it's a nice dryer to use, especially if you need something a little bit smaller, but still works really well.